This year, many Americans will not only cast ballots for the president, but also on the issue of abortion, as a record number of states bring the issue directly to voters through special ballot initiatives. In 10 states, voters will decide whether to include what's called a right to abortion in their state constitution. Those states are Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New York, South Dakota, and Nebraska. The ballot initiative decision in Nebraska is unique among all the rest. For the first time in any state, voters will be faced with two competing initiatives, one crafted by pro-life advocates, the other by those on the pro-abortion side. Mark Irons reports from Nebraska.
On South 48th Street in Lincoln, Nebraska, there are two competing options. On one side of the road, an affiliate of Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest abortion provider. Across the street, the Women's Care Center, providing free pregnancy tests and ultrasounds and offering women and their babies support.
The fundamental difference, I would say, is hope, because at the Women's Care Center, we're giving women the opportunity to have their child and have a life with them. And at Planned Parenthood, they're taking away any opportunity for joy that comes with that new life.
Isabella is just one of the Catholic students from the University of Nebraska who meets outside the Planned Parenthood weekly to pray for unborn children and their mothers. They hope women considering abortion will instead choose to go across the street to the Women's Care Center. They think it's the option that could help heal and save lives. On Election Day here in Nebraska, voters will also have competing options, and we're told what they choose could also save lives.
This is going to be the difference between a culture of life in Nebraska or a culture of abortion in Nebraska.
On the ballot, for the first time in state history, Nebraskans will vote for or against two separate competing initiatives, Measure 434 and Measure 439.
What do people need to know about these two initiatives?
If Initiative 434 can't beat Initiative 439 at the ballot, unfortunately, we might be left with Initiative 439, which I tell people is worse than Roe versus Wade.
Tom Vinzer directs the Nebraska Catholic Conference. In collaboration with the state's Catholic bishops, the conference is trying to get the word out.
Initiative 439 is a very extreme proposal that allows abortions throughout the entire pregnancy, 28 weeks, 30 weeks, 32 weeks, 36 weeks. Alternatively, you have Initiative 434, which provides some protection in the second and third trimester for the unborn child, but then allows us to continue regulating against unsafe and coercive abortion practices.
A Nebraska law passed last year bans abortion after 12 weeks of pregnancy. Now, voters will first see Initiative 434 on their ballot. It's backed by pro-life groups and would help safeguard the abortion ban. Initiative 439, last on the ballot, is backed by pro-abortion groups like Planned Parenthood, who are telling voters what to do.
Hi, I'm Adele with Planned Parenthood Advocates of Nebraska. Vote against 434 to end Nebraska's abortion ban. Vote for 439.
But in the back of churches throughout Nebraska, displays are visible and pamphlets available so Catholics can remind voters to do the opposite.
The church is asking voters to vote against Initiative 439 and for Initiative 434.
Whichever initiative passes with greater support will go into the state constitution. Initiative 434 states in part, unborn children shall be protected from abortion in the second and third trimester. While Initiative 439 wipes out pro-life protections in Nebraska, it states in part, all persons shall have a fundamental right to abortion until fetal viability.
When they talk about it on the political front, it's often assumed that there's a definition of viability, and there just isn't.
Dr. Catherine Brooks, a neonatologist and pediatrician in Lincoln, sharing her medical expertise, says the vague language in 439 doesn't leave any room for restrictions, and what it would allow is extreme.
I think 439 is vague intentionally, and that's so that people don't understand what it's saying. But from a medical perspective and a legal perspective, it's allowing abortion at any gestation for any reason.
Brooks works in the neonatal intensive care unit caring for premature babies who might need some additional support before they leave the hospital. She notices something in all of them.
They get bigger and they learn how to eat and they're breathing on their own and all of that stuff, but their personalities are also unique.
Tom Vinzer knows that from personal experience, even in the short time he had with his daughter Therese, who was born 3 months premature. She dealt with complications and only lived for 2 weeks.
People might consider abortion because they say, oh, my child won't live a good life, or they'll have health complications, or maybe they won't live very long. What did it mean to you to have a daughter who did live for just 2 weeks, but you had her for 2 weeks.
I know my personal experiences, those 2 weeks were beautiful. They were wonderful. We never knew if we were going to get 1 second with her. We didn't know if when she was delivered, she was going to make it. And so to have any amount of time with her was precious, not only in the womb, but outside of the womb, and to look at her, to see her face. It taught us how to love more deeply. She taught us how to love.
Back on South 48th Street, the Catholic college students hope to be a witness of love to mothers.
You're not alone. You have so many people praying for you right now.
And their babies.
Every innocent baby deserves a chance to life.
And in Nebraska, pro-lifers say a vote for Initiative 434 and against Initiative 439 could make all the difference.
How close do you think this is going to be?
These are two initiatives that are neck and neck, so we know that they're very close. Every vote matters.
Mark Irons, EWTN News In Depth.